Progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. A heartiest greetings to one and all. I'm Alma Iron, here to talk about fuel conservation and green India. The first thing that we need to know about fuel conservation is what it truly means and why we need fuel conservation. We need fuel conservation because our earth, though rich in natural resources and fossil fuels, has a specific limit. If we don't conserve and use our resources wisely, we will have to face the consequences. There are two kinds of resources in this world: renewable resources and non-renewable resources. Renewable resources can be recycled and reused repeatedly, thus, they are not wasteful. Non-renewable resources refer to the ones that cannot be reused and recycled. These are wasteful and cause pollution. Fuels are also of two kinds. Fossil fuels like coal, petroleum, and diesel are non-renewable fuels. Once used, they take millions of years to reform and thus are practically non-reusable. On the other hand, alternative fuels like solar energy, wind energy, and hydroelectricity. Coal is a fuel that takes millions of years to form. It is inconvenient for usages as it emits enormous amount of smoke, which is harmful to the environment. We are using fossil fuels at an alarming rate, and this is very likely to harm us. Once the resource runs out of supply and depletion of resources begins, human mankind will not be left with another choice. Fuel conservation refers to the attempt to conserve and preserve these fossil fuels. We can use alternative sources of energy and thus minimize the use of fossil fuels. Alternative sources of energy guarantee sustainable development and therefore pave a path for us to leave behind the limited and non-renewable sources of ammunition for our next generations. Solar energy is an extraordinarily cheap and enjoyable way of conserving fuels. We can harness solar power by using solar panels. Solar panels are usually fixed on the rooftops of buildings. Solar energy can be used to heat water and run solar cookers. Thus, the use of fossil fuels is reduced. Scientists are also researching ways to use solar energy for running vehicles. Biogas is another excellent way of conserving fuels. Biogas is prepared by processing cow dung in a pollution-free environment. Biogas can be used to cook and heat things. Wind energy and water energy, preferably hydroelectricity, can be an excellent replacement for fossil fuels. Hydroelectricity is harnessed in dams and can be used to provide electricity at homes. Fuel conservation is an essential part of saving and protecting the environment. The smoke and gases produced due to the combustion of fossil fuels are hazardous. We need to keep our fuels from getting rapidly depleted. We can start by using wind energy to produce electricity. The windmills set up near seashores harness power, and that's very safe. So we can use natural gas in our cars instead of using petrol and diesel. In villages, using coal for cooking is very prevalent, but this causes pollution. In some India, using natural gas as a fuel for auto rickshaws became compulsory to prevent the enormous smoke emitted. Fuel conservation helps us to make our planet a more habitable place. Buildings should be designed to get us much natural lighting during daytime. So the conclusion of the fossil fuel conservation is that as the fossil fuel stores diminish over time, people will turn to renewable sources of energy. And it will come under the radar of shrewd marketers who will then raise the prices of the machinery required to harness their renewable energy. So we should start sooner or else we'll regret when there will be no alternative left and will all be futile. Now we are going to take a look on Green India. So going green means to pursue knowledge and practices that can lead to more environmentally friendly and ecologically responsible decisions and lifestyles, which can help protect the environment and sustain its natural resources for current and future generations. India is a country of rich heritage. There are a lot of tourist places in India. India is such a country which had given a lot of inventions to the world. People from different countries want to explore India. The faster world has a faster transportation which leads to pollution. The development in the automobile is good, but we can't affect the balance between nature and human life. Deforestation is the biggest reason for global warming. Everyone should plant at least one tree in their life. Trees are the most important for our nature. They help in cleaning the air, help in the rain, and numerous more profits of planting trees. Consequently, this is bad for the environment as well as humans. It can cause endangered animals to become extinct and imbalance the ecosystem. The Green India campaign was launched by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. If you want to help your planet, don't think that there is nothing that can be done. These days, there are a lot more you can do to create a green and healthy home. It turns out that going green doesn't have to mean expensive investments like solar panels, sustainable wood flooring, and not toxic paints. Experts say that simple changes in your everyday life are all it takes to make your home a healthier, safer, greener place to be. But don't forget that human beings are creatures of habit and change takes time. Begin with small steps. For example, make a commitment to change just one habit every month. Leave plants around your home which act as natural air filters. And some plants are particularly effective absorbers of harmful pollutants emitted from carpets, furniture, and electronic equipment. Find eco-friendly alternatives to harsh chemical cleaners which can cause health problems and pollute the environment as well. Several brands of non-toxic biodegradable cleaning products are available at both natural grocery shops and chain stores, or make your own. Baking soda is a cheap and effective all-purpose cleaner, scorer, polisher, and fungicide. You want to minimize the use of pesticides in your home, and that's what insect repellents are. Instead of using repellents to keep insects out by sealing cracks and holes around doors, windowsills, and baseboards, and keep food stored away and kitchen and eating areas as clean as possible. Grow your own salad greens, veggies, and herbs. A garden can help reduce soil erosion and reduce air pollution. Eggshells, tea leaves, coffee grounds, fruit and vegetable peelings, pretty much any organic matter can find a home in a compost pile or bin. Grass cuttings, which act as a natural fertilizer when they decompose, so take advantage of them. So I conclude that conserve fuels and go green.